Hello, welcome to a very interesting video. I've been annoying everyone, telling them to buy a PC just for the simple fact that I want to build another PC. So this is going to keep my cravings at bay. Well, it's probably not, but you know, a good second best. So I thought what would be quite interesting is to go and reenact what happened when I built my first PC, which I was going to record and put up on my YouTube channel, but things didn't go quite smoothly, and you will see pretty much what happened when I was building my PC. I have had a bit of a play around with this just so I can get used to what was supposed to do in all the functions and that. Now they don't have the exact parts that I have in my PC, but we're going to extreme. But we're going to do the best we can with what we have. They do have a very wide selection of parts available, so I think we'll get pretty close. One thing I do know is they don't have is the actual case. So basically what happened was I drove down to where I was going to be getting the parts from. So I'm going to use the ThermalTake View 91 RGB, which is the super tall version of the case I have. I have the View 71, but it pretty much looks the same. It's just a bit bigger than the one I have. It still has the full glass paneling all the way around, so it's going to be the closest thing to. So we're going to use this, and then what we're going to do is, because I don't think this game has test benches, because when I was actually building my PC, I wanted to test it to make sure it actually posted first. In other words, to make sure everything worked. And there was a little bit of a snag. So we're going to remove the glass panel. And we're going to take the bay. I'm going to remove this because I took my driver bays out completely. Right, so this is pretty much what my case looks like, but this is pretty much exactly what my case looks like, to be honest. Just a bit, no, pretty, oh yeah, it's slightly bigger as I look at it now, like these bits here. Mine is just like sort of squashed in a little bit more, and there's not quite as much room, but to be honest, it's pretty close. And it doesn't have these on the other side either. But anyway, so basically what happened was I went down to the shop, and I'm like, right, I know exactly what I want. Like, I want this motherboard. I went in an X. They don't have the 570. Oh, they do have they do have 570s. Holy shit. Right. Oh, right. See, I have the Crosshair Hero 8, which is the X570 motherboard. But I think I may have to use the Gigabyte one, because this looks more like my motherboard, except it's a different manufacturer. So we're going to use this because this is the same chipset that I have. Chipset that I have. Standard ATX, yeah. So we're going to kind of cheat a little bit. Basically, I'm going to use the Gigabyte Aorus Extreme, which is very similar. So we're going to install this. So basically, I have the ROG Croshair Hero 8, and I got it out of its box and I put it on the motherboard case, because that's what you're supposed to do apparently, so that you can test that everything works. Because the last thing I want to do is basically do this, put everything into your case and find out it doesn't work, and then we go. And then I was like, right, I know exactly what processor I want. I want the Ryzen 3900X, and I was like, yes. And literally, this was the first thing I did. So I've got the motherboard out of the box. I'll put it on the motherboard box, ready to put the CPU in. And I'm like, right, we're going to install the CPU. So I lift the arm up, and I'm like, oh, very gently, because you don't want to bend any pins. So we're like, oh, gentle. That wasn't gentle, but in real life, it did very gentle. And I look at it, and I'm like, huh. Like, it's not sat down. So I'm like, okay. So I remove. I'm like, okay. And then I go like this, and I'm like, that's very strange. So I try it again, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, it's not sat down. In this corner, it is not sat down. And I'm just like, but why? Why is it not sat down? So I remove it again, and I flip it over. I can't flip the actual CPU over, but I flip the CPU over, and in that bottom right corner there is one bent pin, and then I cry. And I cry, not literally cry. I felt like crying, and I was like, oh my God, no! I have waited 6 years for this. So anyway, basically I rang up the company I got the CPU from, and they said, okay, no worries, just bring it back to us. They were gonna, I could have posted it to them, but it had taken like, well, 3 to 5 days to get there. Then they had to fix it, and then 3 to 5 days to get it back. So I was like, nope, I will drive down tomorrow. So I got up the next day, drove all the way back down to where I got the got my parts from, and they were very helpful, and they basically just took it in the back, put it in a jig, and straightened all the pins out, checked it posted, and that was that. So I was like, yes. So I went home. I didn't actually work on my PC that day again. I just sort of got home and had some other things to do, so that kind of sucked. But then the next day, oh, we're going to reenact this the best we can. Oh, so the next day, I come in, I sit down on my desk. I sit down on my bench, and I'm like, right, I test everything, and I post it, and it works, and there's nothing there. But it posts, and I'm like, yes, everything works. So then I come down here, and I'm like, I pick up this computer is in a box in my room, and I'm like, right, we take it, and we flip it over, and it's like, I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I'm like, that is very strange. So I tilt it a bit, it's like, I'm like, oh, all the standoff screws are loose and they are everywhere. So I open it up and I peel back the protection, and what do you know, but the front panel is smashed. It's in fucking pieces, and I'll put some pictures up of what it looked like. So I went round to my mother's because I ordered it from her Amazon account, and I was like, right, we need to get onto Amazon because I don't use Amazon, and we need to get this case replaced. So I ring up, I'm on the phone for fucking God knows how long, and then we talk to this man, and he's all like, oh, well, what you need to do is you need to go and get the you need to go ring up the manufacturer of the motherboard, and then you need to get the manufacturer of the case, and get onto them, and they'll send you out another one. I'm like, oh right, so I have to go and do it? And they're like, yes, you have to go and do it. I'm like, well, that's a bit of a ball ache. He's like, okay, well, I'll try and do it for you. So he went and tried to do it, and then I was on hold for 10-15 minutes, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then he comes back and he's like, okay, so I couldn't get in touch with the motherboard manufacturers, but what I can do for you is instead is if you don't feel like ringing them up and doing everything, it's like I will do it for you. And I'm like, what? Why did you say that in the first place? I didn't actually say that, but that's what I was thinking. I was like, you fool. So basically, Amazon were kind enough, and they sent a case out the next day. So literally, I went round to my mother's because that's where it was being delivered, and I was there bang on the dock at 12 because they said that's when it was going to be delivered, between 12 and 1. And I got my case and I went straight home. I was like, right, it's fucking time to build this bitch. Why does he want me to remove? Where's the thread? I was like, right, it's time to build. So I came home, and this is basically now the start of the build. Because I knew everything worked, so I'm like, right, motherboard in, processor. Well, I put the processor in first, then the motherboard. And it's like, right, we need the RAM. So we get the RAM. So I'm there, and I know exactly what RAM I want. I wanted the Corsair RGB Vengeance. Where's fucking RAM? Where's RAM memory? There we go. So Corsair Vengeance. And I wanted the 3600, but they didn't have the 3600 in, so I ended up going for the 3200, which they don't seem to have. Well, they do have it in white, but mine is black. So what we're going to do is we're going to pretend. I also have 32 gigs of 216 slots, so even though technically I only have 2 RAM slots, we're going to stick 4 in anyway, because that's what we do. So at least my PC will have the full amount of RAM that I actually have, because you can actually benchmark on it, which is pretty cool, which I haven't actually done on my own PC, so that'd be quite interesting. I'll benchmark it on this, and then I'll benchmark it in real life and see how close this simulator is. But anyway, so I actually have a 16 here, and then a 16 here, but what I will be doing eventually is getting, you can get a, well, they call it fake RAM, and it basically, it's an empty RAM slot and it just has the lights just so it fills in the gaps. I'll pop a picture of my rig at the end anyway, and then when we've done this, we go, right, we need the AIO, because we ain't getting none of this fucking air cooling bullshit. Fuck all this shit. I am joking. Air fans are probably better in one way, because you don't have to worry about changing any water at any point. I mean, you don't have to with an AIO, but when the pump's fucked, you need to replace them. They're quite expensive. So, and again, I do believe they don't have an Asus, no, because I have the Asus ROG, because pretty much I went for everything Asus ROG, and it just, everything looks nice, it all ties in. But basically I've got a 360mm RGB liquid cooler, so we're going to take this one. What we're going to do, we're gonna oh, hang on. Now technically mine came with thermal paste on, but apparently these don't come with thermal paste on, so we're going to put a blob of thermal paste on, otherwise we're going to fry the shit out of it. So we put a blob on there, and then we go and we get the so I've just put 360s. Is there any other ones? I could get a Corsair one, but I don't think that has oh, it does have RGB. But I like the look of this one more, so we're gonna have this one. I want what is going on. Ah, right. So what I actually did was I removed top panel, remove dust filter, and then we go, right, ha ha ha. And then we take this, and then we want it on, oh shit, we want it on top. Come on, get on top. Can I, there we go, that's better. Mine goes this way. It does slightly come across the RAM, but that's okay in my book. Alright, there we go. Oh yes. Now this bit on mine tells you a lot of information. It tells you, it can tell you a lot of information. It can tell you your GPU, CPU temperature, your CPU frequency, and anything to do with the fans and all other sorts of things. It's very nice. A bit expensive, but you know, it's definitely worth it. I also have my tubes. They sort of come across this way, but you know, that's fine. So what do we need next? Ah yes, we need a PSU. And again, they don't have the one I have. They have one very similar. I have an RGB 1200 watt again, but it's the Asus THOR. And again, it has a readout here with the wattage. And again, people probably think it's overkill, but you know what the fuck, I've waited 6 years for this, and I do what I want. Nice. And then we need cables. So what we're going to do is, hang on. Oh no, what we do first is we install an NVMe. So we want none of it fits. This is horse shit. Just to reiterate, this probably would fit. Let me see, can I... There we go, open drive bay. Here we go, alright, so I can't... It won't, I have an NVMe... oh. It is strange because these would fit. They would definitely fit. Because you don't have to then reclose that drive bay. Oh, RGB. Right, so I have 1 terabyte, so we'll just search for 1 terabyte. And I guess it doesn't actually matter which one I use because you can't see it anyway. None of these actually fit. So we're going to take this M.2 drive, just because it doesn't actually matter. We're going to install the M.2. Put it in the standoff, slot that in, and then we go, goodbye. So again, that literally doesn't even matter. You can also have one there, which is nice. So we've got the NVMe, which is where the Windows will go. What is next? Graphics card is last. So, or is it time to put the graphics card in now? I have the RAM, I have the AIO, I have the case fans. I feel like I'm missing something. I don't think I am. I think it's time to put in the graphics card. So we've got graphics card. And then we got piece de resistance 2080 Ti. But they don't have ROG. That only is 2080 Super for whatever reason, which is kind of annoying. So this is what I mean by it can't be exactly the same. What? Sorry, Space Ti. Right, so let's get the one that matches the closest. Oh, it's going to have to be this one. And then what do we do? Oh yes. Oh, we can install it this way. So we've got to remove. This is exactly like my case. Apart from much bigger. Right, and then we go install the 2080 Ti. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. In the show off position. So you can see them nice lovely fans. Oh, look at that. It's just a thing of beauty. Look at it. Look at it. Oh yeah. Oh, there's the Ryzen. They put the Ryzen in all automatically. Right, things are starting to come together. And pretty much from here on it was smooth sailing. But I didn't record the actual build because I was just kind of, well, pissed off, I suppose. Because nothing went smoothly. And by the time it came to the build, I just wanted to get it, built, to be honest. So that's why I didn't actually record the build in itself. So we need to. Oh, hang on. Let's make sure. That's okay. Got to make sure they're all in row, so it just looks nice and neat. And we've got to plug the fan header in to the AIO pump. And then we got to connect the motherboard. I don't know why it doesn't want me to connect that, because I had to connect both these on mine. We got to connect the fans. That's not the fans. That's the on and off switch. We've got to connect this fan though. And then with these, we can connect all these together. What the fuck? Hang on. No, stop. Take this one. We plug this one in over here. We'll take this and we can pop that. No. And we can connect these together in sort of like a sync. Does this not have a... I wonder if I can get a fan speed up. Case fans, PC fans. These are the things that I need to put back in, potentially. So you can't get a fan hub, but it's okay, we don't need a fan hub. Right, so fans connected, RAM is in, AIO is in. Let's just check everything. We have power. Right, I think I'm just looking at my computer now for inspiration. I think that's pretty much everything. So we've got the graphics card, we got the fans are all plugged in, we've got the AIO. I know what I forgot. I almost forgot the hard drive. So we have a 10 terabyte, which you can't get 10 terabyte. So we search for HDD and get the biggest one we can find, which is 4 terabyte. So we take the 4. It's not. I do have a Seagate one, but we've got to remove the back panel first, and then we install. Where are we? 4 terabyte. I put mine here. Oh, this fucking piece of shit is in the way. Now to install it there. Nope. So we've got to remove this. Again, mine doesn't have that, which is, I don't know what the fuck. I'm guessing this is for. I'm not really sure what that is for, but anyway. And then we got to plug this in. So we get the cables and we plug this into the power. And then we plug this into the SATA. Oh, it's popping out. Right, so I think that is everything. We've got the processor, we've got ThermalTake on the processor. We got the AIO connected, we got the motherboard connected up. I think now we just... Oh shit, no. I think now we close this. Right, why won't it let me close? Let me close that panel. Close that panel. And then we're going to put the top on. We need to get that dust filter on. And then we get the top panel on, which is also glass on mine as well, the top panel. But everything else is pretty much exactly the same. I have the 3 fans. Right, it's time to boot it up. And then we'll find out if I forgot anything. Right, and you can even press the power on. Oh yeah! Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful.